I let a trainer try out my horse. I reluctantly agreed, since trainers, they don't randomly ask to ride horses. And why did people randomly want to try out my horse? They said it was just to see if he's properly trained. So I let her. This is what happened. I started getting ready to tack up Moon. And she came up and she said we could go whatever arena or area I'm more comfortable with. So I decided to go on the indoor arena. I don't know why I agreed to this. It wasn't very, very smart, I don't think. But here's how it went. Come on, walk on. She was kicking way too much. She was kicking a lot and started pulling. Her reins were so tight. I did tell her, but she just said, oh no, it doesn't matter. He's just being very sassy. Because he kept on trying to buck her and kick her, and he really didn't like it. So I told her to just ride him normally. She didn't even warm up. She went straight to jumping. Poor Moon, I should have never let her on him. So I told her to at least warm him up first before abusing my horse. I did not want her on my horse. The thing is, when I told her to get off, she said no. And then when I tried to forcefully get her off, she just let him canter. He reared, obviously, to try and tell her to stop. I could see that he was in pain. So I at least told her, at least trot and warm him up. So she trotted. But the thing is, she kept on doing the thing where she just pulled and kicked. I mean, I know that that's how you get them into Piaffe, but we're trotting. So obviously Moon started kicking. He was enough of this. Don't worry, Moon, I'll sort this out. His head was being pulled up. He was in pain. I could tell it. And as soon as he started to speed up the slightest bit, he was in so much pain. Until she got him to Piaffe. But she was angry about that. She didn't want him to Piaffe. She wanted him to trot. So then she decided to keep on kicking him. And he really wasn't happy. At least she gave him a little pat. But then I noticed something. She was doing Rockler. I don't know how to pronounce it. Sorry. I instantly told her to get off my horse because he was going to be hurt soon. But she just cantered and jumped so I couldn't get to her. But he ended up falling and knocking her off. So then I hopped on. I could tell that he still was in pain, so I decided to give him a nice easy lesson. I set up the walk routines and the trot routines and also the canter routines, but I'll do the canter later because I don't want him being too tired. Good boy. Even though he had been in pain. Sorry, I just dropped something and that scared me. I was leaning on something and then it fell. So then he did the first one perfectly. So I decided to get him walking on a bit more to do the second one. Boy. I obviously gave him lots of pets because what had happened before was very stressful for him as he is just a horse. Now I had to collect his walk, but he's not very good with collected. So, and especially from what happened earlier, his mouth kind of hurts, so I didn't pull that much. I gave him lots of pets. He only had to do it for a few seconds anyways. So I gave him lots of pets, and his ears weren't back, which is very good. So I checked what ones I had completed, and I just had to get him as fast as I can in the collected walk. Good boy. just a few more seconds, bud, and then we can get trotting. Obviously, I'm probably going to trot him around once before I start getting to the other things. So we did a nice working trot. He was very good. Now I give him lots of pats. He's a very good dressage horse. But he failed the challenge. We were about to complete it. It wasn't his fault anyway. He's just a horse, innit? He was on the last second and then he decided to speed up, which wasn't very good of him. He tried to trot a jump, but seriously, Moon, that jump is too big to trot. I could see he was starting to get fussy, but we had to complete working trot before we could get to extended. So he was starting to get really, really fussy, and I had to make sure that nothing bad happened. But finally, we did it. I got him to then extended trot, and he was being so good in extended trot. And then we decided to do the collector trot. Now, he'd already done lots of collector trot, but come on. He has to do all of it, otherwise he can't. So I didn't pull him back as much, obviously. But then he decided to start passaging. So I let him do what he wanted to. I mean, he's a good boy. Got him to Piaffe, and he's a really good dressage pony, so he managed to do that in an instant, but then he decided to walk. Now we still hadn't finished the trotting, so we had to just do a tiny bit more, and then we can get on to the cantering. But he decided to try and walk. So I did try and give him a small walk break, but then he just went straight back to trotting. He is struggling a lot, so I'm going to go straight to cantering. Because he's on a good trot, he's warm. I decided to give him a little carrot because he was starting to get a bit tired. So, cantered. Canter. And he did a very smooth transition there. But then he ran into a jump. So I had to quickly steer him away. And he was good with that. And then I got him really speedy. So I decided to start the jumping. He was really good, but he got a bit off to the side. And he wasn't going to make this jump. So he looped around. We did a 20-meter circle. But then he ran and spooked. So I canted him again. And I'm not sure if we're going the right way, but I don't really care. So we jumped. And we saw this jump and we knew we could do it. Perfect. Even though he's a dressage horse and not a jumping horse, he did really well. And we're going to now go off today. Bye-bye.